Father D'Souza, General D'Souza, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here under false pretenses. I must be the only one here who has never been into a college. General D'Souza has told you all about me. I'm most appreciative of his kind words. My only regret is that my wife wasn't here to hear them. She would have treated me with greater respect. And when I say I'm uneducated, I really mean it. I must be the only member of my family who isn't a graduate. I managed to do my inter-science. I got a 3rd division, mushkil se. Anyway, it's nice being in this hall with all the academics and all the educated people. And I take this opportunity of inaugurating your Silver Jubilee series on leadership. I don't know what one does for inauguration, but may I say that I have inaugurated the thing. For a long time, I've been watching the scene in India very carefully. Wherever I go, whenever I pick up a newspaper, I find there are shortages. There's a shortage of fuel, there's a shortage of food, there is a shortage of foreign exchange, there is a shortage of housing, shortage of schools, colleges, everywhere. And everybody talks about these shortages. But the one shortage which is responsible for all these shortages is generally glossed over, which is the shortage of leadership. Father, don't misunderstand me, and gentlemen of the press, please don't misquote me, which you are always capable of doing and which you continue doing. When I talk of shortage of leadership, I do not mean just political leadership. I mean leadership in every walk of life. Whether it's political, administrative, in educational institutions, in our sports organizations, in our industry, amongst labor, amongst the law and order contingents, there is a shortage of leadership. I do not know whether leaders are born or leaders are made. There is a school of thought which says leaders are born. Father, we have a population of 780 million people, and we procreate at the rate of 1 Australia every year. And yet, there is a shortage of leadership. So if those of you who think that leaders are born and who contribute to that theory, may I suggest you throw away all Planned Parenthood and really let yourselves go. If leaders are not born, can leaders be made? It is my view that give me a man with reasonable common sense and decency, you can make a leader out of him. What are the attributes of leadership? There are many attributes. The cardinal attribute for leadership is professional knowledge and professional competence. Now you will agree with me that you cannot be born with professional knowledge. Even if you are the child of a minister, the son of a member of parliament or the progeny of a field marshal. Professional knowledge has to be acquired the hard way. It is a constant study. Professors, engineers, architects, lawyers, solicitors, doctors, they all study their professions continuously. They all contribute to magazines, to newsprints, to all sorts of things. But we in India, as soon as we reach positions of power, whether it's ministerial, secretarial, armed forces, or anywhere else, we think we are the repository of all knowledge. Professional knowledge has to be acquired the hard way. And without professional knowledge, you can never have professional competence. And if you haven't got professional competence, you cannot be a leader. I wonder, those civilian gentlemen who have been charged with the security of this country, whether they have ever read a book on the military profession. I wonder if they know the difference between a gun or a howitzer. I remember a minister one day coming to me. I'd left being the army chief then, and said, and I will talk to you in his own language, "Zara batao, ye howitzer kya cheez hoti hai?" And I said, "What are you talking about, howitzer?" Then I discovered that he meant a howitzer. And I said, "Well, why are you asking me? Why don't you ask the army chief and others?" He said, "Kaise पूछे उनसे? मैं मिनिस्टर हूँ, तेरे से तो पूछ लेता हूँ, तू जानता है कि मैं बेवकूफ हूँ." I wonder if they can distinguish a mortar from a motor, or a gorilla from a gorilla, although a great many resemble the latter. Ladies and gentlemen, professional knowledge is a sine qua non of leadership. You have to have professional competence if you are expected to lead anything. It doesn't matter whether you are in the army, whether you are in the teaching profession, whether you are in industry. Unless you have professional competence and professional knowledge, you cannot be a leader. And it has to be acquired the hard way. You've got to study all your life. What takes me to the next attribute? The ability to make up your mind and take a decision. And having taken that decision, accepting full responsibility for it. Those of us who have suffered at the hands of superiors who cannot take a decision know what it's like.